Hey everyone, today we're back in the weekly pack, and if you saw my first weekly video, I did a blind weekly, I did it live, we're back in the recording today, and if you see in the shop, and I'm sure you saw in the title, it's the Adventures of Return 1 Tier 2, and let's see what we get. It is a beluga sturgeon and a robin. So beluga sturgeon is pretty common. I did not look, typically when I get in this situation, I'll just do a quick YouTube search and see what videos are already out there for Adventure of a Turn 1 Tier 2. I didn't do that here. I figured somebody probably has beluga sturgeon. I still actually haven't looked it up. I'll try to look it up after this and if I remember. But yeah, we're going to go with the robin, and in this weekly, it's kind of like the perk building weekly. So like elephant, seal, axolotl, mole builds, all that kind of stuff. A couple other pets I'm kind of forgetting that are crucial in it. So yeah, we're not running a 4 squad is kind of awkward. A 4 squad would make more sense if you're going orangutan, or sorry, macaque, which spawns the orangutan, which is the tier 5, a lot stronger than robin. But we got the robin, and we took the robin, so we got to make it work. So I'm just kind of scratching my head. This is only like, I think 2 or 3 games after my blind weekly, my first game. So I had a couple games like staring at the pack and trying to build teams. And I quickly realized that you kind of run into Goliaths later in the game. Early and mid game is kind of easy. There's a couple decent tempo options. You'll run into some teams that'll just destroy you at a certain point, like the chili teams and whatnot. But you can go a couple different directions to either survive and thrive or to become very strong tempo-wise yourself, like just going chilies. And yeah, try to win the game quick before you get to those Goliaths late game. So brought in the Dumbo Octopus, which I absolutely love. There's a 2 gold bacon there. I figured I'm not going to take a 2 gold bacon. I'd rather look for level ups. So you can see we're still in a pretty dire situation here. Although we just got the robin level up, it's like the team is not strong at all. But luckily we got the robin level up, and the robin has decent stats, so the robin should be able to do work. And not the best math, but the chili, so that's what I was talking about with the tempo. The chili is just so strong, it's ridiculous. Take the level up, get a deer. So very, very similar to the blind weekly run. We got chilies going. And you see the other teams, they get chilies going as well. So it's kind of a tempo race. We have 4 lives to work with, so it wouldn't be the end of the world to lose some lives while we pivot. All these sparrows, you'll see in the bonus clips, I was running sparrow strawberry teams. I'm obsessed with sparrow strawberry and a lot of the new strawberry tech. I absolutely love it. And yeah, so I saw those sparrows. I skipped on the 2 and then another one showed up and I was like, all these other games I've been looking for sparrow and they show up on the game I'm not going sparrow. It's just how it goes sometimes. If I was not on like a specific challenge, right, Adventures of Return 1 Tier 2, I probably would have taken those sparrows, tried to make it work, and the game probably would have fizzled out and lost. I end up doing that in so many games. I just get like narrow focused. And the whale shark. The whale shark is one of the kings of this week. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking of. With this pack, it's like the perk build axolotl elephant seal. It's also the ailment and ailment cleansing. So it's like the whale shark and frigate bird. Frigate bird? Is that what it is? When you get weakness or an ailment, it replaces it with rice now, I believe. If you've seen my previous videos, you know I'm really bad at reading and at learning changes. I guess I'm kind of like a boomer at heart, where it's just semi-resistant to change. So level 2 deer, got the so I've got the macaque frozen, and you're probably thinking like, why would you have macaque frozen when you have robin? I had a dream. At this point in the run, I had an absolute dream. I wanted to run Robin and Macaque and go a 3 squad. I thought that'd be really fun. I'm going to keep that in mind for the future. Maybe go to custom packs or something. I've had a decent amount of runs with Macaque recently, so if I do it, it probably won't be for a couple weeks or something like that. But I'll add it to the list. We'll keep the ideas cooking. You never want to reject ideas, right? You always want to be receptive, be open. So we got the elephant seal, and we ran a 5 squad there, just totally disregarding the nest. And yeah, very similar to the blind weekly as well. Get the elephant seal and just start scaling to the moon. And so I'm referencing my blind weekly a lot because I made a ton of mistakes. Doing my first live recording ever, I had realized very quickly and I became overwhelmed very quickly because not only do I not know what's in the pack and I'm just trying to do a blind run, I'm also trying to provide like decent commentary while I'm doing it, right? And not just sit there like thinking, which I did a lot. There was a lot of like 5-10 seconds, just complete dead periods where I'm not even doing anything on screen. I'm just literally sitting there thinking. So it was pretty hilarious, like going back and like watching it now. Like every time people make comments at specific points in the video, I'll go back and watch that point if I don't remember, so I can, have a valid reply and yeah, have good engagement with the channel. I'm getting some great engagement with some of the people and having some great comments where, really nice comments that are really motivating me to keep this whole thing rolling. So really appreciate all the support. And yeah, it looks like we're having some return viewers who are enjoying the content. So makes me really, really happy. That was one of the goals with this channel is, hey, maybe some people will enjoy it and kind of come back and kind of watch it how I watch, some of my favorite creators, right? The Groundeds, the Flames, the Troubadours, the Revs, the Sags, the Scooties, the Haps. Every time I do creator name call outs, I'm like, oh man, I know I'm gonna forget so many names, but yeah, I just keep doing shout outs because I'm like, eventually I'll hit everybody. So yeah, elephant seal would have liked the level up, but didn't get it. That's fine. Only have 5 wins, 3 hearts, and it's turn 14, so this game's going long. I really want to get this elephant seal leveled, and the cool thing about this is the axolotl is only level 1. But that's all we really need. You see the elephant seal is getting scaled kind of even with the axolotl. So yeah, it's going well. And on the note of making mistakes during the blind weekly run, the live commentary blind weekly, I didn't realize, and I put in the description a note about it. Somebody made a comment about it, that the magic beans works very well. You see the golden egg here? The magic beans work so well with elephant seal. It gives you essentially 2 triggers as long as you use it at the end of turn, right? And you have it in battle. The start of the next turn, you will get the golden egg and it's another free trigger. So in my blind weekly, like there's pie and magic beans, I would like use magic beans and then override it with pie because I would think, oh, I want the stats in battle from the pie. But no, you do it this order, right? See, we're going to put the magic beans on. And then watch at the start of next round, we'll get a free elephant seal trigger from the magic beans. So it's great. And I love the fact that there's Bad Dog in the pack. It's kind of a mixture, the perfect pet for either the ailment or the perk build. And you see this person, they have a mixture of both. So they have the ailment build with the whale shark and they have the perk build with the axolotl. So our I thought we had the toy. We don't have the toy, so we don't override the peanuts, unfortunately. We'll see if we buy it next round. And the power of the reindeer. The reindeer is one of the strongest pets in the game. It's absolutely ridiculous. If you haven't seen a reindeer with the real velociraptor that was on the previous opponent from the last battle, the real velociraptor and the reindeer work very well together now. I have a video where I got a reindeer to get 5 melons in battle triggers. So I had no melons on the reindeer to start with, it was level 3, so it gave itself 3 triggers, and then I had 2 separate real Velociraptors in, so each real Velociraptor gave that reindeer a melon. So one reindeer got 5 melons in a battle. It's pretty incredible. The video did pretty well on my channel, so if you're a returning viewer, I assume you saw that one. But if you did not see it, go check it out. There's like timestamps. You can go and just see that one specific point in the video. You don't have to watch the whole thing. And yeah, there's the golden egg. So start turn, free trigger. The strawberry jam is also perfect for the elephant seal as well. So basically in this weekly pack, if you get a level 2 elephant seal, basically use every strawberry jam because it's just cheap, and then use a magic beans at the end, towards the end of every turn. So you get that golden egg trigger at the start of the next turn. And the elephant seal absolutely goes crazy. So I should have just used a love potion there on the elephant seal. But I love cornucopias. The team's really strong, so I was like, alright, let's just see what we get. We can use some equipment on some units or whatnot. And I've said this in the past, but when I get teams really strong, one of my first thoughts is I'm going to see, as long as I have hearts, I'm going to see how long I can push the team without putting equipment on it. I'm just going to push for scaling, push for level ups. Once I start losing lives, then I'll start spamming equipment. But I really like kind of testing myself with those challenges. And especially considering the Pandora's boxes in here, we don't really need equipment, right? And this team is so strong right here. It's absolute. I mean, look at this. They basically have 2 50/50s, a 30/30 in reserve, and we have less units, maybe equal stats. But the reindeer, look at the reindeer. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So lose the Pandora's box. Let's get a new one. And the cool thing about I was either looking for Pandora's box from Bad Dog or a Mongoose for a television for stats. The good thing about either of them is they both scale, because we have an axolotl with the Pandora's box. So yeah, it turned out really great. And 50/50 reindeer, our level 3 Robin is almost 50/50. So the cool thing about these challenges, if you can do it, is not only to win with the pet, but like to make the pet strong and have the pet carry you. And this Robin's been carrying us the entire run, as well as the nest with the egg. And you see the egg or the nest spawns after the Pandora's box. So we still have the egg. And I didn't fully realize until about halfway through this game, the nest level up, the egg has multiplied effects, so that we get 3 egg triggers essentially. So we're doing 6 damage with this egg. And look at the reindeer. Look at the reindeer value. And I think you see what's about to happen here. We have an egg, they have a melon, their melon's gone from our egg, and our Robin trades. Our axolotl gets the job done. Job's done. And we get it done. There we go. So super fun run. Adventures of a Turn 1 Tier 2. Shout out Grounded. I'm actually not sure. I'm assuming he's the one that started it, but I'm not sure. I'm assuming he made that. I have to do my research before I dive into these things and start running my mouth. But anyway, we have some fun bonus clips, just a couple of them. Let's jump right into them. All right, picking this one up on turn 10, 3 wins and 1 heart. So it's a dire situation, and just like last game, this game is going to be long and go late. So because I recognized that a couple turns ago, we have a mole team going, and it's mole level 3, which is great. But I kind of recognize that I'm not the best with mole, and I know you have to basically get high rolls to really get specific mole teams to work out. I wanted to be lazier with the mole, so I figured, you know what? We're going to kind of we're going to keep the mole, but we're going to transition from a mole team to a pelican team. The pelican, my new favorite pet. I wanted to make this run its own like main video. This was going to be the main run before I got the Adventures of a Turn 1 Tier 2, but I know I'm going to be using pelicans so much in runs that I'm just going to keep sneaking it in bonus clips, I think. Because, you know, if you like the pelican and you're enjoying my content, just be aware the pelican's going to be in a lot of bonus clips. I'll try to make hints in like the chapters, the timestamps and stuff. because I know people love the Pelican. It's my most viewed video on this channel by a mile. And the Salmon of Death. So luckily last battle we got by with 1 heart. I think it was the first win we had in a long time. I think it's partly because we got the level 3 mole. And now we have the strawberry. So you see we swallowed the mole and we got the mole to spawn again. So it kind of worked out perfect. And there he is. It's a level 3 Salmon of Death with 26 HP. So it gets 2 triggers already. So it's like the perfect setup. The only unfortunate part about all this is we have to roll into strawberries because we have Shoebill. So I'm kind of desperate rolling for strawberries. It's a super awkward point. And I figured, okay, I can easily just sell Siamese Cat, get real Velociraptor in, find another strawberry, get it on the mole, and then start slowly putting strawberries on everything. And then I can decide what to scale. Because with level 2 Shoebill, our mole doesn't need too much more scaling. Would love to get him to 50 health, but that's going to happen quick. Strawberry Jam shows up. It's literally perfect. And thankfully, the Cardinal Siamese Cat interaction works so that the Siamese Cat eats the Cardinal discounted food. Sometimes you might not want that, right? Sometimes you might want, I don't know if you had, like if I had this jam frozen in the shop already, would it have eaten the jam instead of the Cardinal food? I'm not sure, but I'm really glad that it stole the cheap croissant and I kept the jam. I would have been devastated if not. And yeah, because I found the jam, I rolled into a strawberry. I figured, yeah, I don't need the real Velociraptor. I can keep the Siamese scaling. And teams are starting to get big. So I mentioned it earlier. The early mid game, you can get by just going a little bit of tempo and like just kind of chilling, doing your thing. Once it gets to the late game, you better have it figured out. You're going to run into absolute Goliaths. In 2 or 3 turns, this team is going to be nearing 50-50. In 4 to 5 turns, this whole team's going to be 50-50, right? Axolotl, Elephant Seal, both level 2 combo. Yeah, three rounds, your whole team's 50-50. If you just spam it, right? So here we go. More scaling. More strawberry. I figured the mole has enough stats. The only unfortunate part about spamming that strawberry is our seagull was not going to eat the mole. Luckily, we roll into more jam. So the high roll works out. We're on 1 heart, so if we don't roll any of these strawberries, the run's probably over. Especially considering not only are we losing out on a Pelican Salmon if we don't get a strawberry, but we're also losing out on a mole trigger. And here's the awkward part of this build. It does not synergize well, the mole, with all this, but because as soon as we get Pelican level 2, it means we're swallowing 2 pets. That means there's only 3 pets left on the team. That means the mole only gets 1 trigger. So essentially a level 2 Pelican means we lose an 18-18 mole. But I think that's okay because we're gaining a 20 damage snipe, a 10 damage snipe 2 times with our level 2 Cardinal with over 25 health. And we retain all these stats and send them to our back line, which I think is the greatest part of the new updated Pelican. Typically, you have your biggest units in front, right? But considering you're still going to do some chip damage, and then your snipes are going to come out, and you have a chance to kill their big units, having your big units in the back makes sense with all the chip damage, because then, hopefully, you kill their big unit, like we just did with their fur-bearing trout, and their crane, for that matter, and it's an easy cleanup in the end. So this is why I love the Salmon of Death and the new updated Pelican. It's a combination of so many things. You utilize start a battle and faint pets with it. You have to get meta scaling, which is my favorite. I just love seeing numbers, so that's my favorite thing in the game is scaling. Snipes are one of the most satisfying thing in the game. Who doesn't love snipes? Except when they're on the other team. That's when you don't love them. And yeah, I was desperate for a food. Like I said earlier, I love cornucopias, the RNG. So instead of taking the safe way out, a lot of times I just spam cornucopias because they're fun. And it's the Golden Egg Seagull team. It's absolutely ridiculous. Luckily, they're not like scaling to the moon. It looks like they're just using it to generate gold and generate levels. So, yeah, it looks like we're going to lose. But then you remember, oh wait, we have a pelican. That means we have a salmon of death. And unfortunately, we only get one. But one's all you need when he's that big and he's level 3. So the good thing about that is we got the 2 mole triggers, right? So even though we didn't roll into the strawberries, we're not utilizing our pelican fully. We fully utilized our mole for what we have. So kind of all works out. There's another strawberry jam. Freezing these pets pretty much infinitely because you know what we need. It's another strawberry. I would not want to end this run without utilizing the pelican fully. Who cares about them? The mole is old news. Everybody's been there, done that, right? It's all about the pelican now. And unfortunately, this cardinal's at 49 HP. If it was at 50, we would have gotten a third 10 damage snipe from him. But that's okay. And a good thing, this team is crazy. It's like a Kraken elephant seal. Fur-bearing trout pass the Rambutan's back, so they get their scaling in battle after the Kraken trigger. So Kraken reduces health. Rambutan faints, or fur-bearing trout faints, passes them back, elephant seal scales. Their whole goal is setting up for this harpy eagle. They're trying to maximize their harpy eagle trigger. I can't talk anymore. They're trying to maximize their harpy eagle. There it is again. I can't say it. Harpy eagle triggers. And we counter it with the snipes. And if you see the Harpy Eagle, the extra summon got sniped, yeah, that was a cool interaction. So anyway, super fun game with the Pelican. One more bonus clip. Let's hop into it. All right, picking up the final bonus clip on turn 13. We have 7 wins and 4 hearts, so we're in a really good situation here. In these situations, I know I can have a ton of fun with the team. I can kind of like roll down turns and look for what I want. We've been cooking with a puppy. Almost level 3 puppy. Basically just scaling with toys and scaling with Shoebill. So I'm surprised this team doesn't have more stats. It's only turn 13. So I think we just got all these Shoebills like the last couple turns. And I ran Seagull with something on it before. And then I pivoted to Seagull Strawberry because, yeah, I mentioned earlier I was looking for Sparrow a lot. I love the Sparrow Strawberry concepts. This is like the big perk build kind of ailment perk build meta. And I was like, you know what? Let's keep it simple. Let's just go Shoebill scaling. Let's go Strawberry Sparrow. And yeah, keep it stupid simple. Keep it simple stupid. Something like that. I don't know. And it's the mole teams. It's the axolotl teams. They're using a level 3 hummingbird, which I greatly respect. Look at the mole. The mole's just popping off, but Sparrow's just so good. You get a little bit of stats with the Sparrow. And I say a little bit of stats, I mean these two guys are pretty big now. And all the units in the shop, but I have a bunch of partial level ups. I really wanted those, but whatever. Let's just take what we can. And this Seagull is completely pointless now that we locked our team up. So Seagull I used a lot more earlier. I think I had rice on it or something for a while, and I was just using it to like bring in a unit, get it level 2 and sell it, and it would have rice on it. So I didn't use the Seagull too well, but it was an early level up on turn 5 and I didn't like the other options. So I just brought in the Seagull. I was like, alright, we'll just get some value off it. I didn't have anything else I wanted to stat up at the time. Like I was statting up that puppy at a certain point, but I knew I wanted to sell the puppy. So yeah, that's what I do in a lot of runs too. I kind of wait to stat something up, and sometimes I don't find anything I want to stat up, so I'm kind of left with making a choice. Alright, I'll stat up a Seagull and use it however I can, and still build the team I want with it. So level 3 Shoebill, level 2 Real Velociraptor. We have 1 Strawberry on the team. It immediately gets overridden by weakness, but luckily the Real Velociraptor replaces it. So because of the Strawberry Sparrow, we only take 5 damage on the first. we can successfully trade with the Harpy Eagle on the second, and because of replacing the Strawberry initially, it allows us to trade with the Hummingbird and get through the Siamese Cat. So everything worked out kind of perfect. The Melon we don't get value from, but it doesn't matter at this point. And yeah, when you can win quick, it kind of all works out really nice. We had 4 hearts still, so I don't usually win this healthy. Like I said, some of those teams we saw, that Elephant Seal Axolotl team, if we ran into that in a couple rounds, that team would be approaching 50-50, right? So yeah, had a ton of fun in this weekly so far. I'm not sure if I'll be releasing another weekly video. I actually have a surprise either midweek or late week. I'm going to be branching out a little bit into other games and other auto battlers specifically. And the first game I've been jumping into recently is Backpack Battles. So let me know in the comments, have you ever played Backpack Battles? If not, I am just learning out the game. So the first videos I'm going to be posting are kind of like very basic level. I'm just figuring out the game. And so if you want to go on the ride with me, stay tuned for that. And yeah, if you stuck around this long for this video, I really do appreciate it. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Have a fantastic day. We'll catch you in the next one.